Let's do this. If you guys don't know about the Sight and Sound list, it is like one of the most respected best of all time lists out there. Like a lot of directors take it very seriously. It's a good like starting point for a lot of new people getting into film, like as far as like what to check out, like what's worth checking out. They send out a poll to like a bunch of people, like filmmakers, critics, anybody that's important. And yeah, it's been going on. It goes on like every 10 years, I think is yeah. Every 10 years. So back in 2012, I was like not really into film like that. So this is kind of the first year I'm like experiencing this list in real time. So let's just go through it. I think right off the bat, Get Out being on it makes sense. I'm cool with that. It's very rare to see like a new film on the list because it's like when you think about the greatest films of all time, people think that like you need it to like marinate a little bit before it can be in the list. And but I feel like Get Out is like an instant classic. Chat is gone. Damn. Okay, wait, let me get that up. Wait, I have to go back here and copy it, I think. Okay, it should be up. It should be up now. If someone says something. Yeah, Get Out I think deserves it. The General, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a lot of these. Black Girl is a great film. Good to see that here. A Man Escaped is amazing. Like, I agree with pretty much everything on here. Parasite made it, which was kind of a given. I mean, that's if we're saying Get Out is a classic, Parasite's even more of a classic. That's like just immediately, I don't know. I think it deserves to be here. I know that's like controversial to some people. EE, which is fantastic. Glad to see that was in my personal top 10. Chungking Express, I think it's like there's like multiple Wong Kar-wai films in here, which is pretty crazy. The Shining, obviously. Pure Le Fou. Blue Velvet's here, which is cool to see. I agree with that. I mean, it's probably the best David... No. The best David Lynch film is in the top 10 here. Modern Times. Like, when I look at it, most of the ones that are in my personal top 10 are here, which is good. Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro. Weird that they're, like, grouped together. And also that My Neighbor Totoro is above Spirited Away, technically. I feel like Spirited Away is a bit better than My Neighbor Totoro, but maybe that's just me. Just barely, though. They really are, like, neck and neck. But I feel like as far as the best of all time, I would put Spirited Away way higher than 75. The Red Shoes, which I also thought would be a little bit higher than it is, because that's, like, a really great film. Casablanca is pretty far back. Goodfellas here. I think Goodfellas is the only... Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the only Scorsese... No. We got Taxi Driver. Wow. I mean, Taxi Driver is probably better than Goodfellas, but like... Damn. Yeah. Skipping ahead. Okay, there's... Yeah, Goodfellas. Moonlight, which is... I agree. I'm like, of the recent movies that are on this list, like, they got the 4 perfect movies to be here, which are Moonlight, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Parasite, and Get Out. Like, those are kind of like the ones you put in here. I can't think of a lot else that might make the cut besides maybe The Social Network. I feel, in my opinion, that's another like recent film that could make it on here. The Apartment, the Blade Runner, which was, you know, cool to see. News from Home, which is, in my opinion, my favorite Chantal Akerman film, and I'm just glad that made it on here, as well as the other obvious one. I don't know if The Piano should be here. It's not that... Jane Campion's made better. I get that it's like a classic, and it was like a big deal, but I'm like... I don't know if The Piano is one of the greatest movies of all time. 400 Blows, easily. North by Northwest. Wanda, which I know a lot of people have been saying is like has had like just a whole new life in the last 10 years of people discovering it and loving it, and like it used to be very hard to find, and now it's like being talked about to the point where it's on this list, which is very cool to see. And like that's another part of this list that I think is interesting when I look at older lists, is that like, I don't know, it's noticeably more diverse, and I know a lot of people have an issue with that, Paul Schrader being one of them, but I'm like, I honestly just see it as like audiences changing and more accessibility for film, like the Criterion Channel and like Filmstruck both coming out like after the last list happened, like I feel like has opened a lot of people up to more films they didn't know about. I don't know. What do I know at the end of the day? But I'm just like, I don't think it's a bad thing that the list is getting like a new refreshing look instead of like the same old like Hitchcock, Kurosawa movies over and over again. That said, Stalker, Rashomon, all that, good to see. Yeah, none of there's Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which the thing about Portrait is that it made it very high on the list, which is pretty crazy. Like you know, it's good to have it here. So like, I'm not upset at that. It is crazy how high it is though. Like top 30 is pretty insane. Taxi Driver deserves to be here. Alcazar Balthazar, which made it higher than a lot of Robert Bresson films, which kind of surprised me because I feel like A Man Escaped and even like L'Argent are like more widely respected and loved than this one. But I guess, you know, the love was there for the Donkey movie. Do the Right Thing, very glad this is here. Playtime, obviously glad this is here. Same thing with Late Spring. So many people started shitting on Daisies. Where did I pass Daisies? Yeah, Daisies making it also like very, I don't know, like telling of like how I mean, I don't know where it was or if it was even in the last list, but like the fact that it's here and that it's this high up like says a lot about this list now, you know, and I feel like it deserves to be here. What was I saying? Oh, so many people were like, I think you just like Late Spring because you haven't seen a lot of Ozu films. And they're not wrong. I have not seen all of Ozu's movies, and reading just the synopses for them, it's like, yeah, he does do the same thing a lot. But Late Spring's a phenomenal movie. And like, I had it originally in my top 10. And I don't know. I think it deserves to be here and that it's great. And I don't know. I still need to watch the rest of his films, but this is an amazing movie. Seven Samurai. I mean, obviously, that's here. Apocalypse Now. I did hear, speaking of Francis Ford Coppola, that Godfather Part 2 is not in here, which I, agree with. Like, I think the first one deserves to be here. This one, or second one does not, in my opinion. But, yeah, I think this beat... No, there it is, The Godfather. I was about to say. That'd be crazy if this beat The Godfather. All these, great. This is kind of just, you know, like you would expect them to be. Mulholland Drive being in the top 10. Insane. And so good to see. Like, because it is, I would say, one of, like, the top... First of all, it's David Lynch's best film. It's like the David Lynch movie, and it's like, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's simply, when I saw it the second time, I was just blown away by how good this movie is. And that there's like nothing out there like it that even comes close. So very glad Mulholland Drive is in the top 10, because I think that is like, it gives the film the respect it deserves, and hopefully gets people to, I don't know, look at it seriously as like one of the best movies ever made. Not that they already aren't, but Beau Travail also in the top 10. I just watched it for the first time, so like a little too fresh in my mind to like speak on if it deserves to be here. The ending alone deserves to be here. Yeah, just very, very cool to see, you know? Like, I don't it's just cool to see Beau Travail in like the top 10 movies of all time. 2001, not a surprise. In the Mood for Love, you know, it's probably Wong Kar-wai's best movie. I put a different Wong Kar-wai movie in my top 10 that I do think deserves to be on this list and isn't, but yeah, In the Mood for Love, cool to see it here. Tokyo Story, that's obvious. Citizen Kane, Vertigo, and then Jean Dielman at number 1, which is fantastic. I mean, that is such, yes, the movie was Fallen Angels. Such a great choice. And like so bold, and gonna be like, it's just crazy this week to see so many like articles and pieces like about this movie, and just to know that it's like at the top of such a famous list. I don't know. It's like gonna give the film such a crazy new life. It's gonna turn a lot of people onto this movie and they will not dig it, which you can't say about like that. That's the thing about Citizen Kane and Vertigo, is that like most people that see these are gonna enjoy them. And I don't know if Jean Dielman will click for everybody, but I do think it's like, yeah, I think that's a valid number 1 choice. That is like maybe one of the greatest movies of all time, if not the greatest, because it's just like, I don't know. It does what film should do, in just a really like massive way. Like, I don't know. I've never seen a movie like this one, so I think it deserves it. It's already kind of a meme, and it's just going to become even more. Oh, absolutely. But like, Citizen Kane also kind of a meme at this point. I like, if you're gonna be put at the number 1 spot, it's like there's gonna be some backlash for sure, especially if it's a movie like this. Like, but you know, I think it will do a lot more good. So yeah, I think it's a crazy choice, and it's a really good choice. And yeah, let me pull up my list. Because I wanted to share mine, if anyone cared. Should be more Bresson. There's enough Bresson. There are some that I think should be there that aren't. Like John Waters should be there, in my opinion. Like, not a bit. John Waters should be there. I feel like Howard Hawks should be there. Who else? Who am I missing? I had like a whole list of people that I was like, they should have been on that list. Let's see. I think this is what I ended up with. Yeah, this is like my final list. I don't think All That Jazz was on there, which I thought absolutely. Oh, The Thing. The Thing should be on there. I don't think there was like nearly enough. Actually, you know what? I can't speak to that. I think there were a lot of older horror movies, but like some of the newer horror films, like of this time, I feel like at least one of them should have been there. And I don't remember seeing a ton. A Cronenberg movie like Videodrome, I feel like could have fit on there. I don't think I saw Umbrellas of Cherbourg. That's another one. I could have glossed over it, but I don't remember seeing a lot of Jacques Demy. Playtime, in my opinion, is like the best. This is not really in order. I don't know how to put this in order, but like, yeah. This is my list. I feel like Pink Flamingos, for everything it meant, and just the like, I don't know. It reshaped a lot of things for film, and I think it definitely deserved to be in there, just as like a statement piece for like underground cinema. Red Shoes made it. Yee made it. Spirited Away, Do the Right Thing. Like all these, Playtime. But yeah, I know Fallen Angels would never make the list. But I really do think Umbrella's like kind of surprisingly it's not in there. Yeah, that's what I got going on in mine. I think that's all I have to say about that. I mean, it's cool to see just like Oh, that's another one. Mad Max Fury Road. I didn't put it in my list personally. I would. It's probably like if it were top 20, it might be in there. But yeah, they've been posting like a bunch of directors' lists on Twitter of what they submitted, and I see Fury Road all over the place. Like, so many people voted for Fury Road, and I'm like kind of surprised it didn't make the cut. I think All That Jazz is very good. Yes. I mean, it's in my top 10 to answer the question. Just yeah, it's one of the best movies about like legacy and death, and uses editing in a really crazy way that I think I don't know, I think it deserves to be recognized in the top 100 like that for how much it does with dance too. Like, Fury Road will be in the 2032 list. I feel like it would. I mean, who's to say? Who's to say how it will age? You know? That's the other thing about those recent picks, is that I feel like if we were to jump ahead to 2032, Portrait would still be there. Moonlight would still be there. Get Out, Parrot, like all these newer films would, I feel like, stand the test of time. I don't know. I know Simon Lang voted for his own movie, which is so. I mean, I haven't seen Goodbye Dragon Inn, so I can't even like speak on that. I almost put The Hole in here too, Simon Lang's The Hole, because of just how, like, the film, it like proves itself after the pandemic, like how good it is, because it like understood this isolating feeling that like was coming and that was already felt to an extent, and it just nails it. It is like one of the greatest movies about loneliness. And I don't know. I would put The Hole is just on the outskirts of this, because that's a great movie. And I still haven't seen Goodbye Dragon Inn. Is Fury Road on the director's list? It's on a bunch of directors' lists, because they like in the magazine or whatever. I don't know where it came from, but I've just seen a lot of directors put it on their top 10s when they submitted to this poll. Let's see. Should we play some GeoGuessr, or what else is there to do? What else? I feel like GeoGuessr, you hop into it when there's nothing else to do. Finding Francis snubbed. He'll get his moment, you know. I was gonna go back to the actual list. I wanna check if Demi made it, because I'm genuinely. No, yeah, didn't do it. Wow, that's crazy, man. I am just shocked that Jacques Demi's not here. Yeah. Like most Tarkovsky movies here, too. I think there's like 3. Which is interesting. Only one Ingmar Bergman movie, from what I know. Where's the other one? Yeah, that's it. I think. Wait, where would... Oh, yeah. Like, I feel like Seventh Seal could have made it, you know? Yeah, nothing for, Pixar, which is interesting, you know? I feel like if there was ever... Pixar's, like, past their prime, and I don't know if... Like... That's the thing is, like, I don't know if, like, in 2032 people will come around to Toy Story like that. Like, if it was going to happen, it would have happened this year, you know? That's when the Pixar vote would have happened. But there's no Pixar, which kind of also surprised me. Pixar's not... Or, I mean, Toy Story isn't, like... It's revolutionary, but, like, as a movie, I guess... Maybe I can see an argument, but I'm like, I don't know. I thought it could have found a spot in here, you know? And if it's not in here this year, it's probably not going to be in there in 2032. Unless, you know, there's like a new WALL-E hype. Sad lack of animation from the list. I agree. Like, I feel like there could be a lot more animation here. I could see a spot for Akira. I could see a spot for Perfect Blue. If there were gonna pick any Ghibli films, it would be these two, which I'm glad. But I mean, I would pick like Akira or Perfect Blue over My Neighbor Totoro, to be honest. Fantastic Planet's not that good of a movie. It's not like top. It's a good movie, don't get me wrong, but it's not top 100. Should have put in Lego Movie. I don't know if we're there yet with Lego Movie. Lego Batman, on the other hand. Kidding. Grave of Fireflies, dog. That would be... But the thing is, it's like, that's kind of where... I saw a really interesting review. I forgot who wrote it, that compared Totoro to Grave of Fireflies because they were double billed when they initially came out, and how Totoro is like a much more Ghibli, like, childlike approach to that kind of subject, where it's like, I don't know, Grave of Fireflies is just very realistic and harsh, and I think Totoro is like doing a very original thing. Not to say Grave of Fireflies isn't, but it's just like, this is like a Ghibli-ass movie, and Grave of Fireflies is just simply devastating. And if we're speaking of like the historical significance and what made like a bigger splash, I feel like Totoro gets its space. But honestly, Spirited Away is still better. It's still better. Yeah. I mean, like, I agree for the most part. Can you imagine if this was top one, though? The backlash if this was number one? Yeah. The right Charlie Chaplin movie. I think the only Charlie Chaplin movie, too. But that's like the... I mean, I haven't seen everything he's made, so I can't really say if something's better. Oh, City Lights. No. Modern Times is way better than City Lights. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, shit. Is 12 Angry Men? Try 12. Wow. Now that actually surprises me. What? Wow, that's huge. That's a big snub, actually. That I didn't even notice. I'm surprised. I guess when you're making like your top 10 list, because this is like a voter poll thing, like maybe a lot of people just simply forgot about it. But like that is. I mean, I forgot about it. I didn't put it on my list. Third Man is here, yeah, and The Third Man is a good ass movie. I'm not upset that it's here. It deserves to be here. Eternal Sunshine. I didn't see Eternal Sunshine on a lot of people's lists. Is there another list? Oh yeah. Okay, wait a second. I didn't even know this existed. So this is just the directors. Okay. If it ever loads. Now I'm interested in this. God, this computer sucks. Okay. Throne of Blood. Pickpocket. Already more Bresson. Wanda making it. Taste of Cherry. Dude. Yes, dude. Taste of Cherry is such a great movie. So glad to see it getting recognized. Like, that is such a great film. Hidden. I haven't heard of that. Michael Haneke. Yeah, I haven't seen most of his films. Eternal Sunshine. Interesting. Color of Pomegranates. That's a good one. I'm glad that one is in here. Blue Velvet. This is going to be a very... News from Home also. Where's the Friend? Lots of Kiarostami. L'Argent. That's probably my favorite Robert Bresson film. Salo. Made the cut. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can see an argument for it, you know. That is it deserves to be here. Chinatown. Jaws. Yeah, was Jaws in the original one? I feel like it should be. I didn't see Lawrence of Arabia in the original one. La Cienega. Eraserhead. Yeah, this is a much... Honestly, this kind of is the better list, if I'm going to be honest. It might just be the better list. Doctor Strangelove. Come and See. I didn't see Come and See in the other list either. Wow, no Spielberg in the critics. So was that one just critics? This is the better list. This is like definitely the better list. Was this in the fucking critics one? Dude, this is just making me realize how many movies weren't in that other one that kind of deserved to be there. A Woman Under the Influence, like that's... Close Up. Damn. I mean, that makes sense for the director's poll, that 2001 would be the top one. I'm glad John Dielman's still, like, top 5, you know? But I don't know why this is like a... You know, I love this movie. I love this movie. I don't know why it's a boring choice. It's, like, kind of like a... Okay, yeah. 2001's number 1. But, like, I can see why. Especially for directors. Like, I feel like that makes sense. It does have a grip. It's there's a grip on the cinema community. Yeah, still yeah, thank you. Like, still kind of not enough horror in my opinion. Horror is so underrepresented in these lists. Was The Thing in here? Am I the only Thing fan out there? Am I the only guy rooting for that movie? Because, like, that movie rules. And is, like, one of the most, like, tightly perfect films. Everybody loves The Thing. Yeah, I'm surprised Chinatown over Rosemary's Baby. Because I feel like that is more widely celebrated. The Thing is 101 probably. That's the type of... Yeah. Yeah, not as, I don't think Portrait's in here, or, Get Out. Very interesting. Very interesting to see. Let me just take a stab at Fallen Angels. No, of course it's not. Solid. The directors did not flop. What are you talking about? It was amazing. This is a great list. Cool. Well, that's that. Not much else to say about it. I'm glad I got that. There's just not much to, like... There's been so much discourse about it on Twitter, and I'm like, it's not that crazy. Like, Jean Dielman's just the best. Like, it's a great, respectable choice for the top movie. God, I hate this hair. I hate this hair so much. We'll do some GeoGuessr. I've been practicing a lot more. Worst pick on either list. Okay, let's dive back in, because that actually, I kind of want to know. Let me go through and see any stinkers. There's a lot that I haven't seen. I'm not crazy about City Lights. That's one where I'm like, I don't know, and that's for the critics list. I don't know if City Lights is that good. You guys want me to say Salo? I'm not gonna say it. Salo deserves to be here. I'm surprised. I think this is the only David Lynch one. No, Blue Velvet. I'm dumb. But it beat Blue Velvet? I get... No, okay, Mulholland Drive, good. Yeah, okay. So it's just Eraser, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would just put other stuff above. I don't think we need 3 David Lynch movies here, you know? He's a great director, but I don't know if Eraserhead needs to be on the list. The Piano, that's something I would take off both lists. And these aren't bad movies. Yeah, City Lights. Where's the love for City Lights? Who is liking that movie? Many people. To answer that question. Yeah, there's nothing like bad here. Godfather Part 2 I could do without. I mean, I like it. I don't know if it would be in my top 100. Rashomon, I'd put a handful of Kurosawa movies over that one. Although I'm due for a rewatch of Rashomon. I don't even want to look at chat right now after some of the things I've been saying. Yeah, I mean this is solid. This is solid. There's not a lot of stinkers here. Orpheus, thank you for the sub with Prime. Appreciate it. Let me get the note. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Thank you, Orpheus. Really appreciate it. Let me put the alert box up because I think it's... There we go. Carson, don't be afraid of us. I'm terrified of you guys. In the Mood for Love, too, I would put... It's not a bad... It's obviously a great movie, but I think I would put Other Wong Kar-wai above that one, in my opinion. And I'll look at the critics one briefly. It's going to be kind of the same answers. I would leave all the recent stuff on here. The recent stuff I agree with fully. I would just put A Man Escaped higher up. Yeah, The Shining. Like stuff that I don't even love that much, like this Godard movie. I'm like, I still think it fully deserves to be in the top 100. Like I'm not upset at this. Yeah, I would take out Totoro and replace it with a different animated film. Blade Runner I'm fine with. That was like a big deal. Piano, take it out. Honestly, North by Northwest I would take out. I don't know if we need as much Hitchcock on this list as we do. Like, this is too much Hitchcock going on in this list. Even though the man made some amazing movies, like, we can do without North by Northwest, in my opinion. It's like, if we want to represent his influence and his style, like, that is not an essential, you know? It is fully not an essential. Put in Psycho, Vertigo, and personally, in my opinion, Rear Window. In my opinion, all you need is Rear Window, but you got to put in, you know, Vertigo and Psycho. But this North by Northwest, fully unnecessary. So glad that Barry Lyndon is getting the love that it's getting on these lists too. I mean, Rope would deserve it too. Rope is like, you could argue that that's like a gimmicky thing though, even though it is like a fantastic movie. I can see why they wouldn't go crazy for it. Yeah, Rear Window is probably the best one. Like, Rear Window, in my opinion, over Vertigo. I was gonna say no M, but M is pretty great. M is a good movie. Yeah, I would take out Psycho. I know that's crazy, but I would take it out and just keep Rear Window and put in someone else that deserves it. Mirror fully deserves to be here. Yeah, and after that, this is all pretty good. I'm cool with Apocalypse Now. Cleo from 5 to 7 is good. Singing in the Rain, that's an obvious one. Yeah, and nothing up here that I disagree with. Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of Tarkovsky. He's another one where I'm like, we could cut a few of his movies. Like, no disrespect, but we could. The thing is though, like, what do you cut? You know, that's a tougher one than Hitchcock, because Hitchcock, you can obviously be like, well, okay, North by Northwest isn't that amazing. Mirror, though, is doing so. You could make an argument for each of his movies, because Mirror is like doing something with like experimental, like poetic film that the rest of his aren't. I mean, Andrei, what's the other one? Andrei Rublev or something? I haven't seen, so I can't speak on it. But Stalker fully deserves to be here. Like, these two alone are good to be here. So I don't know. Tarkovsky's a bit different than Hitchcock, because his movies are all so different from one another. Whereas Hitchcock is like just fucking he's doing his thing, and it's great. But anyway, that's my take. That's my take. Yeah, not a lot else to say, but solid. 2 Buster Keaton movies, I'm pretty sure, which is cool. I haven't seen any of his movies, but yeah. Dario Argento, yeah. I was actually, that's another one I was surprised not to see, was Suspiria, and that's just me, like, dude, horror got shut out, unless we're talking like the old shit, like not even King Kong. I thought I saw King Kong on so many lists, like not even any of those horror movies. No The Thing, no Videodrome, no Tarantino, which was kind of crazy. I thought, you know, Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs, either of those could have found a spot on the list. Yeah, it's just crazy. But it's still a pretty good list. Okay. Mia Goth is not going to get an Oscar nom, by the way. Let's do some GeoGuessr.